Love session. Check us out. Generation. Slow jams. Conversation. Late night. Stimulation. Call in. Love session. Love session. Monday night.
Good evening, everybody out there. U-Nation Radio Land, Morris Media Live. It's your girl, Akilah, Trinay, and you are tuned into another episode of Love Sessions. Love Sessions is intellectual stimulation from 10 p.m. to midnight. Our conversation is devoted to bridging the conversation gap between men and women as a means to combat the war on relationships. We cover the topics that are often overlooked, unmentioned, and outright taboo to shed light on our insecurities and our idiosyncrasies as a way to humanize our love experience. Our conversation is real, it's refreshing, it's relevant. You are guaranteed to walk away from a show with greater insight of yourself and others around you. At the end of the day, we all echo the same sentiment. I need love. Class is now in session. Now, I'm going to kick it over to my girl, Sugarfoot, to my right. She's here in the building. She made it. She's a little sick, but it's okay.
I'm sick, but I'm lit.
Okay.
Right? Sick, but I'm lit. I think I got bars tonight. I just made a little rap that I was sad Felicia forgot the tissue, but then she came through.
But she threw the roll over here like Trump was throwing the paper towel at the Puerto Ricans.
Yeah, Felicia, we can't tell her no secrets. They won't stay between us. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and give a shout out to our...
Who you shouting out?
Lovely, beautiful sponsors. Mm-hmm. So, a beautiful shout out to Aqua Hydrate, who is a little absent again, you know? I'm a little parched, but brought my handy dandy water from work. So,
it's Aqua Hydrate gone at this point, like...
There's another question that we didn't ask Akilah that she found an answer to, so that's great, right?
You brought it up
today, right?
You even showed them that.
I just moved it. I was trying to make a statement of emphasis. Now you done ruined my whole little... Look, I let you have your intro.
Aqua Hydrate.
Aqua Hydrate. They are just missing in action, but they coming. You know, so let's not worry about that. And then let's move on to our other sponsor. This is why she interrupts the other ones, so I can get to hers.
Mm-mm.
So,
never that.
Our beautiful sponsor, Revision Publishing.
Woo woo.
Woo woo. And you guys need to definitely check out Beyond the Hurt, which is her beautiful self-published book, which is available on Amazon.com. So make sure you guys go check that out. It's only, how much?
$15.
Only $15, okay? she got them on deck, too. She got them right now. You pull up, she got a book. You pull up, she got a book. So make sure you guys check that out as well. And then our other sponsor, Dear Azuri, and that's spelled Uzuri. Azuri meaning beauty in Swahili language. That is a movement to encourage women to properly heal from internalized pain and practice healthy communication. So I know that's something that we all need. We all need to work on. So if you guys want to check them out, you guys can find them on Instagram at Dear Azuri. Again, that's spelled Uzuri. Or you guys can check out Tangi's Facebook page, which is Tangi Love Yourself Terry. Love spelled Luv. Okay. And I'm going to kick it back to the lovely Akilah Trinay, because what she's going to do the job of our lovely Invisible Man Charles Handy, who
left us hanging again.
Twice in a row. But I'm not calling out nothing.
But it's all good because we're here. It's October. It's Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Shout out.
And I'm trying to rock my little pink. I did a little bit with the earrings and the hair wrap. I was trying to show the people on Instagram, but I shut it off. But my shirt says Living Testimony. So we know that there are women that are out there who are survivors of breast cancer, and they are a living testimony. And then, unfortunately, we know that there are some who lost the fight to cancer, but definitely keeping them in our thoughts and our prayers, and the families and those who are dealing with that. Social media. So on social media, you can follow us on Instagram at UNation Radio. You can also go to Facebook and you can like our page, or you can follow us on Twitter at UNation_radio. If you would like to get in contact with us for any reason, you'd like to be a sponsor, or you would like to be a guest on the show, or you just want to connect with us, you can also connect with us via email at unationradio@gmail.com.
That's beautiful. You know what? We should all definitely give out our handles more, because Charles shouts his out every show. I need to give on
Akilah Trinay on all social media.
I'm _Sugarfoot with 2 R's, because you got to be different. Sugar. You feel it? I felt it. All right. You gonna kick it back? I want to kick back.
Okay. Well, you kind of already took it anyway, so you just might as well keep on rolling.
Well,
you grown. You don't need no kickback.
Ashley gives me my kickback that I just asked for, but she didn't want to kick it back. Anyways, I'm gonna provide the number because, which isn't new, Detroit's not here yet. Surprise guests coming soon. So if you guys want to join the conversation, have something to say, want to talk to us, want to chat with us, any of that, you guys can give us a call at 323-293-3375. I'm going to give that to you one more time. 323-293-3375. So definitely give us a call and interact with us, because we want to hear from you guys. You guys' thoughts are important,
Absolutely. So I know one of the things before we get into some of our topic discussion, I know that what's been on my timeline for the most part has been the controversy over the Dove ad that happened to be taken down on October 7th. I just heard a lot of people talking about it. I saw kind of the screenshot of the image, and initially I, of course, people screenshot it real nice,
Of course.
I see the black woman who has on the brown skin tone shirt next to the white woman who has on the white, skin tone shirt, and essentially the black woman is pulling off her shirt, and what comes next is the white woman in her white shirt. And so I went online because I had to find out, okay, let me see more.
Dig a little deeper.
Of what's going on with this ad, especially because I don't like to always just believe the hype of what everybody is saying. I like to have the background so I can, form my own opinion. Let me first say that I am a Dove product user. I mean, the soap.
For
and
somebody
body
with
wash.
sensitive skin, I very much so have too.
And my skin is very smooth. It's probably not because of Dove. It's just because I was born that way. But I'm sure the Dove maybe helps a little bit. I know a lot of people are out there are not happy with Dove, and I know they issued an apology for basically. Oh, there it is, so you guys can see it. I know that Dove issued an apology for what they said was like
I think we should find the whole video.
Judgment. But I initially, when I saw it, I didn't even get it, the ad. I was like, well, what were they initially going for? Because it didn't make sense to me. Like, just off top, it just didn't make sense to me. And I know most people are thinking, okay, brown, dirty, white, clean.
Yes,
you know what I mean?
Course.
And that's
what it jumped to. Yes.
That's where your natural mind would go to. You're not thinking, oh, okay, all different skin tones that can utilize Dove. I honestly felt like maybe they should have been putting on the Dove, like maybe putting on the white.
But
but I'm sure that could have been taken wrong too. Have I seen what?
Because that's what people, as soon as it came out, a lot of people, they think they know everything or whatever, or just they got all the facts. So basically, just like you said, there actually were commercials or pictures in the past of Dove like using the soap, and beforehand the person was Black or African American, however you want to say it, and it shows them basically simulating them applying the soap, and then after they apply it,
getting
the skin's
lighter
white.
or getting whiter. I did see the one. It was a still ad of the woman. It was a Black woman on the before side, and then on the after side. Is that the same one that you're talking about?
There's a couple. There's one where literally from back in the day, like some of the old ads where you could, like, there's one where there's like what looks like a slave is like sitting in a tub and his arm is out. Yeah, really, his arm is out, and then the person is cleaning him with Dove soap, and the part where it looks like he's cleaning is now white, but the rest of him is still Black. You know what I mean? So there's actually multiple videos like that, or pictures, I should say, of ads like that. But the only thing about this one to me, which I do need to dig a little deeper about, is the video. Of course, they only screenshot the first two, which is the Black woman going to the white woman. And if you watch the video, right after that, the white woman goes to a Hispanic woman.
Right.
And then, they change. But I think it's just the way they tried to do the diversity thing didn't work.
Well, I didn't feel like their shirts needed to be the same color as their skin.
Right.
I think, to me, that didn't send the message to me where I understood, okay, this is
all wore white. I mean, Dove
that's what
white.
That's what I was saying.
Dove
like,
on their shirt.
Exactly, and that's what my thought was. If they're trying to promote this product, which is Dove, and the product itself is white, and it says Dove, then they can all have on white Dove shirts, and they're either putting it on or they're taking it off. But it's for everyone.
Yeah.
But that didn't really go over too well.
I looked at my soap, man. I was confused. I didn't know whether I could put my soap on or not, or put my lotion on or not. I got some sensitive skin Dove lotion that's been working well. So
now a lot of people are upset, and they're actually talking boycotting the product. And so us. When we get to waking up and we get woke,
they gonna wake back up in 2 weeks,
and we start going on these movements. They're like, we're not just going to boycott. I mean, you can't just boycott Dove product. You got to boycott the entire company and all the rest of the companies that company sponsors and supports.
Which is like
it's a lot. It was a lot of stuff that I saw on social media that were all connected.
Hi to you guys.
And so, it makes it a little difficult for people who really want to, stand up for certain things, because again, if you don't have all of the information or all of the knowledge, when you think you're just boycotting the bar soap and the body wash, you're really calling for a movement of a greater magnitude. And so,
how do you guys feel about the Dove commercial?
I know the internet has no chill and didn't waste any time of revamping the ad to show Michael Jackson.
Wow.
Going from brown to white. So they're like, yeah, you had no problem. You got a problem with this ad, but then nobody say nothing about Michael. Like,
Oh, that's deep.
I was like, people just, the time that we all have on our hands to, create these things is really just hilarious. But like I said, I think that right now a lot of people are on edge. A lot of people are feeling some type of way. And I think like all of these things are just teachable moments. Like these are moments for culturally for people to share like really how they feel about stuff. No different than, somebody of another culture, wanting to touch your hair and look at it. Like you really have to, teach someone like, no, that's offensive. I'm not a doll. I'm not, whatever the case may be. Yeah. Like you can't just because you want to or you think this is a cool idea, just
pet me.
Jump in and start doing certain things. So those are teachable moments. And I feel like stuff like this, no different is a teachable moment. I was sharing with my sister earlier that I had a student who was looking at some older pictures that I had. And this is kind of a segue into one of the topics that we'll talk about after the first break. But he saw a picture when I had my hair short. And so I had it short, cut, like the Holly Berry cut or whatever, Fantasia.
Oh, you
whatever.
Didn't have your sister
and I had it permed and everything.
Oh, I want to see.
And he was like, "Oh, I really like this picture. It looks really nice. You look nice like that. Why don't you, change your hair back to this?" And he was like, "Yeah, because I don't like, what you have on your head now." And I was like, okay, I think that's like a backhanded compliment, but
because I do my hair for
what's up,
you.
elbowed up. So I was like, that's kind of like a backhanded compliment.
Right.
I don't really know if I like this. So then he got to going. I was like, well, what is it, that you don't like or whatever? And he went to try and describe what my hair was. And he was like, it's some nappy balls or something. And I was like, okay. I said, first of all, it's not nappy and it's knotted. And you know what I mean? Like, I'm trying not to be offended by this student, but what I understood is that he didn't know and he was speaking out of ignorance. So maybe he heard a conversation at home about some of his people, you know what I'm saying, referring to our hair as nappy and then thinking like, okay, this is okay for me to repeat this to someone. Because, even though he's not a child, he still doesn't really know, like, okay, what's appropriate and inappropriate. So I really had to, let him know, like, can't really say that. That's not cool, buddy.
He called it. What do you call it?
Nappy. You can't ever just go nappy with us. We can call our hair nappy. I can call your hair nappy, but
you still can't call my hair. You still can't.
But if you're not in the circle, if you're not in the community, you can't go calling people's hair nappy. Because that's negative. So, I mean, can you just imagine if Dove had shampoo and they're like for all different hair types, even the nappy? Like, would that be all inclusive?
It's funny because only black people would be offended by that.
Right.
Only. Even if it was no images.
But, okay, so let me ask you this before we go to break. If somebody who didn't have our type of hair referred to their hair as nappy, would you be offended by it?
Not necessarily. Your hair really might be nappy.
That's the question.
I might be like, okay, that might be y'all kind of nappy. I don't know if that would be like that.
I would be like, I'm sorry, your hair's tangled.
It's a little knotted.
But that's crazy that only black people can have a negative stereotype against or a negative, explanation. But anyway, I'm kicking it to you, Sugar, so that you can take us to a break.
Wow. I don't know if I could do it as cool as Detroit, but I'm gonna let Felicia choose the track because I know she's a genius back there, so that's how we gonna do this. And she about to take us out to this is a song. All right, y'all, we'll see you after the break.
See, I can kind of recall a little bit.
All right. And we are back, and that was my girl, India Irie. Yes. And she's talking about she is not her hair, which I am not, and I am not my skin. I am my skin. No, I'm just kidding. I'm not my skin, but, it's beautiful.
She is. Monty said, your girl loud.
Oh, well, turn your volume down. It's not me. Just kidding. I'll lower my volume if I'm loud. Goodness.
Oh, goodness.
Gracious.
Right now.
But I did want to, because of that song, I Am Not My Hair and I Am Not My Skin. Mom. One of the questions that our wonderful Charles Handy sent to our group chat.
Yes.
As I'm trying to find.
As she's figuring that out, guys, for those of you tuned in, give us any topics that you guys want to hear about tonight. Something that you need talked about, touched on, whatever you need. Send it my way.
Here we go. I'm going back on the live feed just so you all can hear the question too. So we're back from our break, and again, you can watch live right now. And shout out to everybody who's already watching live on YouTube. If you go to Morris Media Studios, you should be able to click on the Love Sessions today's date 10/9/17 and watch the show live. So the question that was in our group chat today is, should a woman have to consult her man before she cuts her hair? And so, shout out to Vanessa Bell Calloway, who we know was on the show recently. I know she recently posted about how she had been wanting she had been wanting to cut her hair for a really long time, and she ended up cutting off her hair. And one of the things that you will know for women who have not yet cut off your hair, maybe because you're afraid, and you are your hair, and or your man in your life has issues with short hair, because I've heard it all before. It is one of the most liberating things that you can do. You know, when especially when you've been tied to it for so long, you know, and you're able to say, well, you know what, it's just hair, it grows back. You know what I mean? And nowadays you can slap on a wig, you can slap in a weave and keep it pushing and just you know, keep the change. So it's almost like asking, should you consult your man to put braids in your hair? You know, do you consult him before you put a perm on it?
Monty said it's just not a good look for everyone. Why we gotta be worried about looks?
But if at the end of the day, if that woman wants to cut her hair off, I believe that she should be able to have the right to cut her hair off. Now, hey, look, here's my haircut. It's short. Love it. Like it. You know, it doesn't change the personality of who she is. So my answer is, should a woman have to consult her man before she cuts her hair? Nah. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Because guess what? What if you have that conversation and he's like, baby, I don't think that's gonna look good on you. You know, because I seen them girls, you know, who cut their hair off and their head is kind of big. And, you know, you kind of got a big head. So I don't think that'd be cute. Like, now she doesn't want to cut her hair because of him, which is something that she really wants to do. What you talking about, Monty?
He said,
I understand it's her hair.
Right.
What did he say?
He said, I understand it's her hair. She has every right to cut her hair. But I'm going to need little baby to have that talk with me first. Okay, so what if you guys have that talk, right?
That's what I want to know. What's next?
She decides, he said, yeah, LOL, some girls be having some big heads. But what if y'all have that talk and you tell her that you don't like it, you're not going to like it, I should say, and she still cuts it? Now what? So what if your girl does consult you and still goes against what you said?
Because at that point it would seem like, you know, like now she's going against, you know, what you've chosen. I just feel like some stuff like that, because when you think about cutting your hair, of course, for any woman, well, I don't know, I can't speak for every woman, but I know before I cut my hair off, when my hair was short, I didn't know what I was going to look like. You know what I mean? Like it was kind of that fear in a sense of, will this look good on me? And I know that's what a lot of people say. A lot when it comes to various hairstyles, some people are like, oh, I can't wear that, or I can't rock that hairstyle because it's not going to be cute on me. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to look right. Oh, you can wear that hairstyle because your face is slim, or you can wear that hairstyle because X, Y, and Z. But I honestly believe that whatever you're doing, you have to rock it and wear it and make it work.
Period. Monty said he leaving because he gonna be mad.
Well, he's gonna get over it.
So and you can't be with Monty and cut your hair, y'all.
You know what, Monty? A lot of dudes, like when it was time for me to cut my hair, you know, they're like, oh, don't do that. Like, you know, not that they really just said that you're not gonna look right. You know what I mean? But their thing is, and I apologize for using you as a pet in my example, but a lot of dudes talk about being able to like run their hands through and like tug and pull and with all that other stuff. But when I got my hair cut, like when my hair was cut off, I mean, like they was just, because just, they didn't stop you from touching, you know, rubbing the hair. You get what I'm saying? And they actually liked it. And most of the time, that's usually how it goes. It's like, oh, okay, I like that. You know what I mean? Wasn't nobody talking about Halle Berry. It wasn't like, oh, Halle Berry needs shorter hair. Like, it worked. And I'm sure she didn't ask everybody, like, do you guys think that I should cut my hair off? No, that's what she wanted to do for her. That's what made her feel good. And she rocked it. And now when people cut their hair off, they call it the Holly Berry.
There it is there. Well, he said Holly has to look for it. I can't deal with you, Monty. But Monty talking about he loved the real deal. So girls normally cut their hair off to get a fresh start, right? To get some nice, healthy hair, or to either, like you said, they was tied to it. So let her cut it off.
And at this point, a lot of women are actually cutting their hair to go natural, like you were saying.
To cut it off to make it all healthy.
And like locking it and doing other things that initially I feel like men aren't necessarily fond of. You get what I'm saying? Because here we go again. When I talked to the lady who locks my hair, you know, she said it's crazy how, you know, whenever women want to do something with their hair, they have to go and get permission. They have to go and get validation. It's just one of the things that we've always had to deal with when it comes to our hair. It's like, you know, does this look right? I have to make sure. And it's like, look, this is your hair, you know? And when I told people, so from going from short hair, and then it grew out a little bit, and I was trying to do the natural thing, but my hair is too thick, and it was getting on my nerves, to deciding, making that ultimate decision, like, let me get some of that tissue.
Akilah is calling everything out today. Like, we really can't have no secrets.
Well, it's a little cool, but now you must be trying to pass your sickness to me. I'm sorry, y'all. She's trying to get me. But
the foolery. The foolery. Oh, thank you.
It's just cold in the building. So when you see the tissue, she got the bug. I just got a little runny nose.
I'm a little sick today, guys.
I got allergies.
So I got the whole roll. I'm just borrowing it till the end of the show.
But essentially what I was trying to say is that when it comes to locking the hair, initially everybody was like, oh, don't do that. Are you sure you want to do that? Why don't you just get a wrap? And I felt like that was really an LA thing. And I'm sorry to put LA on blast like that. But if I was
to blast somebody else.
But honestly, it was because a lot of people weren't really rocking it at the time. You know, a lot of people weren't really into, okay, let me sister locks or whatever. Now I see them everywhere. But especially for younger people. You know what I'm saying? Like, you see a lot of older women who have them and, you know, they're totally fine with it or whatever. Yeah. But as far as for younger women, it's not so much. And I'm not like super young, so I mean, but at the same time, you don't see it a lot. And so a lot of people were like, I don't know if that's going to look right on you. You probably shouldn't do it. And it had me thinking for a moment, like,
second guessing.
You know, like, should I? Like, why does it matter what I do? I don't want to wear my hair straight. I don't want to wear my hair pressed or permed or whatever. Been there, done that.
That's what I used to say. So you want me to do that, but are you going to do my hair every day?
Right.
Are you going to take care of it every day?
You know. Then when I did, it was literally one of the best hair decisions of my life. Like, when I cut my hair off, loved it. When I locked it, loved it. Because those were decisions that I really wanted to do for me. And that it wasn't tied to anybody else. It wasn't tied to, oh, this man. It wasn't tied to, oh, I'm trying to go for this popular look right now that's trending on Instagram or Facebook. Like, no, this is literally what I want for me. And it wasn't popular. So that made me feel even better about it, because it's like, look, you are against it, Monty, but guess what? I'm about to do what I need to do. And those things add to why Dove ads and different things are so offensive to us, because we're so sensitive, because of the fact of our skin has been talked about, our hair has been talked about
all our life.
You know what I mean? Like, why should we really be offended by that ad at the end of the day? But we're so sensitive because our color and our skin has been such an issue for other people for so long, and that we're still, to me, what it says is we're still not comfortable in it.
Mm-hmm. That's deep. So we're only offended by it because we're not comfortable in our own skin yet. How y'all feel about that? Because that's kind of deep. Oh, sorry, we're back. That's wow, I'm a little speechless. That is a good point. That is definitely a different way to look at it that I didn't even think about?
Because I mean, it just, that one just dawned on me only because of the hair thing. Like, I'm offended by certain things because certain parts of it make me uncomfortable. Like, at the end of the day, like the nappy thing, like I was saying, like, who cares? You know what I mean? Because sometimes my hair is nappy.
She had to close her eyes to tell
right.
That.
I had to be honest. But because I don't really deal with my hair like that, and it's literally just, I get locked every day. I mean, not every day, but every 5 weeks or whatever, they're just locking it. I don't really have to deal with it. But the only reason why this works is because of the type of hair that I have. Let somebody with thinner, not as curly hair tries the same thing, they're not going to get the same look.
That could be true. I'm just still on the whole, we not comfortable in our own skin yet. Because real life, that has to be, she wants to know what your hair looks like so we can see. Right now, for those of you just tuned in, Miss Mercedes, we're talking about the Dove commercial, being comfortable in our own skin. Akilah's opinion or view is that the reason why we're offended by the Dove commercial is because, in a sense, we are not comfortable in our own skin. But I just think that's kind of how society has made us. And right now we're in the time of working to really realize, like, why shouldn't you be, or why shouldn't we be? So people are still I feel like people are feeling with this commercial like, bro, where we're at now, we've came this far. Like, you still doing this? And they have to defend themselves because we haven't had a voice for so long that now that we're getting this voice and we feel like we have a voice, it's like we got to speak up on everything. But
that's why I feel like it becomes a teachable moment. You get what I mean? And no different than the skin, not the skin thing, but I believe Dove was also the company that did about being natural and the different sizes, and like you don't have to be like skinny or whatever, but then you can also be bigger, you can have curves, you can, right? Wasn't it Dove, the company that did those ads? And again, I think when you come upon certain topics that are sensitive, you know what I mean, that people are still dealing with, then you're forced to tread lightly in a way that you don't want to offend anybody, but how do you convey a message about your product, right? Because your product is a product that cleans, and my sister sent me the kind of the reference to the old school ad that you were talking about. Yeah.
That's the plug.
Oh, you just now figured it out?
No, I've been new. But that's the plug.
But yeah, of the bar of soap, even though it said pears make, I forgot what it. Hold on, let me pull it back up.
It's
on my
just
phone.
Why did you have to do it like that?
Improve.
You couldn't just put somebody in the shower. Or something like.
There it is. Improve the complexion. So you have the
so how
child
right
holding the soap. And they're going to clean
the black child. And you're telling me to do what? What did you just say? To improve the complexion.
Well, if you notice,
how is washing the skin from dark to light improving the complexion?
Well, because it's the whole idea of your skin not being okay. And your skin, this skin color, our skin color, being something that is dirty and that is negative and all of that. But we've also, like I said, we bought into some of these thoughts and ideas and these beliefs and these values to where now when people do certain things, we're sensitive about it. Because my question is, how can you convey the message if you're a Dove, if you're the Dove company, how can you convey the message that your product is made for all skin tones in a matter of 10 seconds or 5 seconds or whatever the case may be?
That's hard. I feel like somebody's going to be upset, but I feel like black people are just tired of being the ones that are.
Well, because we're usually the ones that are upset.
It's like, you not over it? No? Still? All right. Like, it just gets old. We keep having to go through this. And then why is there no issue seen with that?
Which part?
All of it.
You said all of it. On me? As far as what I see?
I'm talking about, like, the ad. Like, there should have been an issue seen with that from the beginning. You know what I mean? And since there was
the company, the people, they're sitting down at the table. Well, I even thought for the young lady, the African American woman, one of the thoughts that I had was, did she know the concept of the ad beforehand? You know, to be able to offer, because I think sometimes people make decisions about stuff and we're not at the table. You know what I'm saying? We're not at the table to know what the thought process behind that was. Or to give some background. And that's why I said teachable moments. We're not at the table to say, this is what our community is going to think when they see this. You get what I mean? So no different than if you guys remember, there was the ad, and it was going around on Facebook. I think we talked about on the show months, maybe even a year ago, where they had what was the product? I can't even remember the product, but I can remember the product packaging. And basically with the packaging, it had, when it came to the family, it had the whole family, you know, the whole white family, mother, father, child. But for the black woman, it was just had the mother and the child. And it was like, that's again, deep. Perpetuating these images that, you know, we don't come from, you know, two-parent homes or households or whatever. Now, remember, this is the product and this is the packaging. And so I just feel like, again, if somebody is sitting down at the table and they say, guess what? This image is probably not going to work. It's going to be offensive to a lot of people, and these are the reasons why. Because maybe you haven't taken this into consideration. I would love to believe that it wasn't done purposely. You know, that it was... But
for it to continuously be being done, it's kind of hard to believe that at this point.
I think he said from black to white.
He said it sounds like a Michael Jackson move, from black to white.
Oh yeah. Because he. So I thought about the video though. You know what I mean? When they were doing the faces, and then they kept changing.
She's doing the faces. She's doing it. Oh my God.
Right? That was the coolest thing. But I mean, they could have even done something like that. But I really think the idea of them putting on would have been better. But as far as Monty and anybody else out there, do you think that you should consult, you know, your partner before you do something drastic like changing your hair?
Something Monty said was, Monty has a daughter who has long hair who wants to cut it. So would Monty give his daughter the same advice, that you need to consult your man before you cut your hair? Or are you going to let your daughter know? He said off top, yes. Or is that already answering my question? So you gonna tell your daughter, if she like, Daddy, I want to cut my hair. You like, no, baby, your hair big.
No, well, I also think...
baby, don't do that. You're not gonna look right.
I also think that one of the other things that we do, and I'm not saying it's good or bad, we just do it, you know, especially with little girls, and if they have long, pretty hair, then it's like, you know, don't cut your hair, don't do anything to your hair, and I understand your hair is your crown and all of that, and there is some even... like a spiritual side to it, like religious side, that, you know, they really don't believe in cutting the hair.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because it is your strength. It is your power. It is your glory. It is your, you know, all of that. And, but I think that when you're tied to it and you begin to feel as though, you know, exactly. Your self-esteem is then tied to it, because what happens now, we're talking about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. What happens with those who have to go through, you know, chemo or something like that, and they lose it? Now we've placed so much power in it, that now they feel as though, okay, I don't have anything now. Now I'm ugly because I don't have my hair. You know what I mean? Because there are a lot of things that can happen that can cause or prevent someone from being able to do that, and thank God for, like I said, weaves and wigs and stuff like that for people who can't naturally grow their hair and things like that, so that they can feel confident and beautiful and all of that. But
there are even some women who have that long, pretty hair and hate it.
This is true because they can't manage
they're
it.
ugly without it.
And then if you have somebody like Monty who might not date you because of the way your hair is.
Shoot down women's self-esteem.
Somebody told me, you know what I'm saying, like, nobody's going to want to date you with your hair like that.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? With your hair locked. And
she married.
Yeah, I am married. And he loves my hair. And I told him, like, I'm going to cut my hair. I'm going to cut my hair. He's like, no, you're not. I'm like, yeah, eventually I'm going to cut my hair. I'm not going to keep having it grow forever. Like, one day I'm going to take the nice little, I probably won't do it, but I'll go to the shop and I'm going to have them take the clippers and be like, yeah, and I'm going to get a fade. Like, I think that's just one of the things that I really want to do. I just want to see what I would look like with a fade.
Then you do that, girl.
you against it. I can tell by the way that you're responding. I'm not against
it. I'm trying to imagine you with it just because I want to see it too.
Right.
That's why I'm staring at your head. Like, I wonder what she would look
like.
Right.
And then I'll know what shape of head I really have.
True.
Because I have men walk around with all type of lumps and lops and things in their hair.
Man, because I feel like men should consult us before they start getting them dread like thingies or the things that's at the top of the head. Like, or y'all want to lock y'all stuff, or y'all want to get braids and stuff. Like, y'all should consult us. We have feelings. You can't just do stuff. But I have a friend with Brianna Breezy. Shout out to her. And there are some people who just got all that hair, and she still will go get her hair nicely tight down in a weave. She just won't do hers, but she has so much of it, and it's just not an option for her. Like,
not an option to do her own hair.
To do her own hair, no. She's like, why? I could go get a weave or some braids or something. So women have hair, they just don't want to do it. And then, so there's also another stigma that if you get braids or a weave or whatever, that you ain't got no hair, that you chicken hair. That's the only reason why you got it.
Well, I think that maybe that was the case more so in years past, because that was one of the reasons why I never wanted to get a weave. To be honest, because I didn't want to send the message that I didn't have hair, or anytime that you did, get your hair braided, it was like, it should be longer the next time it's out, because if your hair is not longer the next time it's out, that means it's not growing. And again, we have this stigma with our hair about it not growing and it not doing what it needs to do. And unfortunately, that's a little terrible. But we don't want to belabor this topic, but we were touching a little bit on the Dove ad, just to kind of surmise everything. We were touching a little bit about the Dove ad, and then we touched on the topic, should a woman consult her man before she cuts her hair? And of course, we want to give honor to Breast Cancer Awareness Month, so we're linking it all in together. But I'm gonna kick it to Sugar, because she's doing the job of Detroit, because they left us here alone.
They did leave us here. So
right now
I'm over here remixing commercials, taking us to break, because look at this 2-man show, got it rolling. So, and now that we're ready to go to break, I'm gonna kick it back again to my lovely genius back there, Miss Poetess, who's about to take us to a break as soon as she gives you guys an amazing track to listen to. We'll see you guys in a second.
And we are back. Again, this is Monday Night Love Sessions. It's your girl, Akilah, Trinay, and Miss Sugarfoot. We are holding it down for the ladies tonight. So we're asking you all to talk to us, and we'll talk back. So there was a question, and I'm just going to kick it to you, Sugar, for the question on the table.
Now that my Instagram Live is back up and running. So basically, my friend Billy, shout out to her, She basically gave us a comment. She said she wanted to hear us talking about how there's this stigma that if you're a plus size woman or you're a big woman that you shouldn't get the same love or affection as what would be perceived as a skinny woman. So basically, like, a lot of things that people like to say is like, well, you know, like losing the weight or something will help you find the love. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Because you're big, you don't deserve love, or because you're big, you shouldn't get affection like that. Or they always laughing or talking about someone like a bigger woman who's with a guy who is slim or fit or skinny or whatever you want to call it. So we're going to touch on it and we're going to talk about it.
Well, there are a couple different ways, you know, we can really address this topic about size. And I feel like it's always with women. That's just one of the things we always have to deal with, from hair to the actual clothes we put on to the size. And to be perfectly honest, we're not even talking about men preferring a skinny woman or a big woman. We're talking about them preferring something that's kind of somewhere in the middle. Because now what's popular is being curvy.
Oh, being thick.
You get what I'm saying?
Everybody want to be thick. Slim,
and like, thick. Yeah, and everybody's on this hype now more than ever. And you have both sides of the spectrum. I mean, you literally have everybody on the spectrum trying to achieve a body that is literally not really a natural, realistic body.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So the question would then be, really, as women, why do we feel like we have to look a certain way in order to
get the love,
get a man, or get the type of attention that we feel like we think that we want or
are deserving of?
You know? And again, those images is what we're surrounded by. Those things that constantly are put into our heads, because I know that I guess was considered skinny, but mentally I'm like, I've never I guess accepted that. So when people call me skinny, I feel like they're offending me. You know what I mean? Like, that's low-key disrespectful. Somebody else, because I always have these conversations, because I end up having these conversations with people that are bigger than me. So if I say anything about food, big, if I say anything about being big, if I say anything about having a fat girl mentality or whatever, because I want to eat, then it's like, girl, you know, it's always a shutdown or a put off to me. And I feel like bigger women, in my own experience, are constantly putting me down, where I'm like, well, hold up, I'll never talk about you being big. You get what I'm saying?
Why you gotta talk about me being skinny?
Right. Why do you have to, like, does it make it okay because somebody is skinny to talk about their body? And no, it doesn't, because at the end of the day, it's really all of our self-esteem. And men like women. Men like women who are confident. Men like women who are about their business. And ultimately, that comes in any size. You know, it's not like a specific size it comes in. What happens is that we go based on what they're looking at and what they like, and maybe sometimes those things that they lust after, and then feel like you have to kind of achieve that or be that in order to keep that man. And we don't have any men in the building to really attest and or respond or answer. So if you're there, you can. But I mean, ultimately, you know, men, like I said, men like women. Because I was watching this show over the weekend, and it was about people who are dealing with, and I don't know the name of the disease. I just kind of caught it towards the end, but they're dealing with a disease that causes basically their body parts to swell and to be really big. And most of the time it happens in like the legs and the feet. So this one lady, she was really big, but she really had the condition, and it was kind of all over her body, to where it was a life-threatening condition, and that she had to kind of like go back and forth through surgery and all of that in order to try and get, because they're like tumors. They're like cancerous tumors that are in her body that are basically, in a sense, taking over her body and killing her. And one of the things that they were sharing was that she's trying to get better, but at the same time, she was getting ready to get married, and she was getting ready to walk down the aisle. And, you know, first thought is like, wow, like, you know, she's getting married. And that to me, it's just a reminder that there's somebody for everybody. This woman is dealing with a diseased body that is causing her, to be big. And I'm not just talking about like a little bit big, like some people are just, they might have a big stomach, or they might have big thighs, or they might have, big arms or whatever. But like literally, she's big everywhere, not because of eating, but because of a genetic disorder that's taken over her body, and to the point where it makes it very difficult for her to walk, where her lower body is like 300 pounds in itself.
Wow.
You know what I mean? And having to carry that around. But somebody still found something in her to love. You know what I mean? And I'm sure it had nothing to do with her outer appearance. You know what I mean?
But it goes away at the end of the day.
Right. Beauty fades. You'll be cute for a time, and then after a while, people are like, yeah, you don't look good anymore. And so if you're with that person who's with you because you have a certain body type, then they really didn't want to be with you in the first place. That is my take on it. Because with us, with our bodies as women, we go through way too much. Excuse me, like seriously, like we go through a lot. I've never had any children, but I've watched just the transformation of a woman's body from being small and having it together and maybe working out to having a baby, and the body changes and there's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
And so if she were to let that particular thing get to her and keep her from finding love, then she would be stuck.
So you're saying it's really us.
Well, it's what we allow, in a sense. I feel like we allow certain things to consume us. Because I always ask, like I've talked about it even with Marcus, like, okay, well, dudes like all these pictures on Instagram, right? All these Instagram models, they like all these different women, they're constantly adding to that image of what they may desire a woman to look like, and at the same time, he's like, well, no, I don't necessarily want that. I don't necessarily like that. But it's like, well, then why would you know what I'm saying? You have to like it. Because what are these women doing all this stuff for if men don't like it? If this is not what men want.
Right.
But again, men are going to take what they can get. You know what I'm saying? They like women. So if these women are doing all this stuff, you can be like, hey, okay, come on. Because big guys aren't at a loss because of their size.
You know what? Not at all. Most women like, I love me a chubby man, a big man. But how many?
But it's also a cultural thing too, and where you are in the world.
That's true.
Because that whole skinny thing is more of like an American standard versus when you go to other parts of the world and then they look at you like you're crazy. Like, what's wrong with you? You don't eat? Where's your meat? Like, what? You sick? Like, no, I'm not sick. It just happened. I just happen to not be able to produce more body fat on my body like others can. I don't know. But don't knock me because I can't.
So, I had somebody.
Well, then I should ask you, Sugarfoot, because you shared with us recently about your body transformation and losing weight and working out and all of that. Do you feel like you needed to lose weight to feel more confident as far as in the love realm?
I would say kind of in the beginning, it was kind of, I just kind of like my self-esteem wasn't there. I wouldn't know if that was because of my weight, I would say, because it was kind of a 50-50 for me. Like it was mostly, 50-50. I just needed to be healthy. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I wasn't feeling right. I needed to be healthy. And the other 50-50 of me was, this is just me personally. I'm not comfortable in my own skin, and I feel like me not being comfortable in my own skin, that energy it spread to other people. Like, they can tell. So with other people being able to tell that I'm not comfortable in my own skin, I felt like people were always looking at me or something. Or like too much attention was always on me because they can tell, like, you know what I'm saying? Kind of like how you say it's really about your confidence, right? How you view yourself. If you view yourself beautiful and you come off as that, then that's, you know, that's what you are. But if you don't, then that allows the other opinions to make up of you. You know what I mean? To make you who you are. So, but what I can say, it is, a lot of people think it's a compliment to be like, oh, you were pretty back then, but now you're beautiful, or now you're gorgeous, or now you're fire, or whatever the case is. That's not a compliment, because I haven't changed. I'm not a different person. I didn't morph into a whole new human being. This is still just me. Right. Just smaller. So, I mean, people think that those compliments are what's supposed to help or whatever. And I do see the big difference in men that have tried to pursue me since then. So beforehand, I was the homie. You know what I mean? Oh, yeah, she cool. But all of a sudden I lose all this weight, and now it's, oh, we can talk. Oh, what are you doing? Oh, what's up with you? Like, nothing was up. The same thing that was up with me back then. That's what's up with me today. I'm the same you person. Feel me? So a lot of people do think that that's a compliment or that's okay. But I will say, I definitely do see the difference in men. I do see that. And that has always been interesting to me. And I don't think, though, that the attention of the men helped me with any of my confidence or anything like that, though. Because I feel like I broke that down. Because before, I did feel like I depended on that because it was my own self-esteem of myself. Right. You know what I mean? So I kind of depended on that attention. But now that when you stop depending on that attention of like needing a man in a sense, you start to see things a little differently. Right. Right. Which I'm definitely happy about, because that's not a good place for a woman to be, for anybody to be. You shouldn't depend on, don't leave your hands in the happiness. Don't leave your happiness in the hands of somebody else. Right. That's not cool, because once they're gone, what do you have? Nothing. You're left empty. And you don't know what searching and trying to figure everything all out again. Right. And I think oftentimes, again, it's another opportunity for a teachable moment, because I find that I really think it's a confidence thing. Like, I love to see big women who are just super confident about, and I'm not talking about those who just feel like I can put on anything and wear anything. I'm not talking about that, because I believe that there are women of every size, that there are things you should not put on your body that they're not flattering. They don't look good. Agreed. You know what I mean? Like, I know there are certain dresses, certain outfits that I put on and I'm like, yeah, no, this would look right if I was a little bigger. You know, it's not accentuating and doing what it needs to do on this body. So I have to find something that works for this body. On this body. But I love to see bigger women who are just confident and they find what works for them, and they rock it and they do what they need to do. And I promise you, they have no problem getting the man in the man department. They don't have a problem at all. They're able to do what they need to do and get on. And I think that those are the things that attract people in general. Like, I'm sure it's one of the 48 laws, you know what I mean? But when you are confident and you wear that, you know what I mean? People can see it. Shines. And then they're drawn to it. And they're like, man, I don't know what it is about you, but it's just. You can't love nobody else till you love yourself. Right. Now, you can't overlove yourself. Let's see. You know. Ayende, shout out to you for tuning in. He said, I've been there. Losing weight and feeling better in my skin gave me confidence. Once hated for being too dark, now they love me. Wow. It's crazy, but a process. I mean, it's real life deep. It's kind of crazy how like you could have really been the same person before, and all of a sudden you lose weight. Now it's like, oh, you know what I mean? All of a sudden you're accepted, you're liked, it's just all of those things. Like, why is there any type of stigma on what you have to be? And then a lot of people try to say, well, don't make bigger women think that being confident makes it okay to be unhealthy. Like, I've heard that a lot. You're kind of talking about two different things, because the assumption is it's just because you're big that you're unhealthy, right? And that just because you're small
you're healthy.
You're healthy.
Which is not the case because there are a lot of skinny, unhealthy people. Period. And then there are a lot of big people who are healthy. You know what I mean? So I think that finding that balance, you know what I mean? Like you said, living a healthy lifestyle works. And that's what's most important. It's not okay to be big and unhealthy and just be like, okay, well, you know, I'm going to die anyway. Or, you know what I mean? Like having that type of mentality, it's like, no, do whatever is necessary to live and be on this earth for as long as possible. But nobody is saying that you have to achieve a certain look or a standard in order to be accepted. You know what I mean? Because there are things about us, some of us, that we just cannot change. It just so happens that you can potentially gain weight and you can potentially lose weight. But then there are people who have other, when we talk about those idiosyncrasies and maybe deformities or things that have happened in life that caused you to be a certain way. I know people who have, you know, birthmarks on half their face or that burns or different things that just happen. And I really feel like if you become that and that is you, and then you're stuck in that, then people are going to get that energy. Like you said, that negative energy that you had around you. And nobody's going to want to be around you. There is somebody for everybody, in my opinion.
Shout out to my cousin Brian Harold, who just tuned in. Because like he just agreed with you. He said it's all about moderation. Which is true. It's not like we're saying literally just cut out all the bad stuff. Or just stop doing that. But monitor what you intake and what you do and just be active. Like take a walk every once in a while.
Because some things you're not supposed to do drastically, like dropping weight really fast or gaining really fast. Like, you know, certain things are supposed to come in a steady flow. Right. You know what I mean? And then being able to necessarily maintain. But again, it goes back to what are you doing in your daily life?
I was about to say that.
Why are you making the decisions that you're making? No different than somebody who's big, who the man is like, if you don't lose weight, then I'm going to leave. We'll leave.
Bye.
You get what I'm saying? Like, that shouldn't be a reason to keep somebody negative around because they're not with you because they have the best intentions for your life. They're with you because they want you to look a certain way. There are men who won't take certain women certain places because of the image that they feel that they have. That man got to go.
Period. And a huge thing for me is like, don't compare your life or your journey to the next person's. Because that's what often people do. They're like, oh, you could do it, but I can't. Or this person lost weight this fast, so I should be able to lose weight this fast. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That person's journey and that person, what they had to do to get to where they are, that's not yours. We all have our own journey, our own time slope, and people they compare stuff, so then they get to feeling bad about themselves because they're like, well, how come they're there and I'm not? Right. They're supposed to be there at this time. You're not yet. So work on your path and let's work on their path. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. People just got to look at things differently. I feel like a different perspective will bring you that different mindset and so on and so forth. And just taking action, because the hardest part is starting. Once you start, things become a lifestyle. That's just what happens.
Well, I think also, like I said, we all come in different shapes, sizes, and colors. And there's certain body types or weights that you can't do certain, like, you have big arms. That's the way that God made you. He made you with big arms. So unless you're about to do some cosmetic surgery to cut those arms down, it's not like a weight type of thing. It's just certain people, like I said, certain people are made certain ways. It was funny. I was in the airport and this young lady had walked by and I was looking at her. I was like, wow, she has a really long torso. Like, you know what I mean? Like, she had way more back than she had legs. Okay. And it was funny because this man also noticed the same thing. You know, like, wow, she has a really long torso. So I knew I wasn't just tripping. And it wasn't like it was a bad thing or whatever. It was just that she was shaped different. You know what I mean? And I even shared with the students at the school, like, it's not a personal thing. There are some things that you may see somebody else have on that, okay, it's okay for them to have on. But if you put that same outfit on, it may be inappropriate. Why? Because you may have more body. You know what I'm saying? You may have more breasts. You may have more butt, thighs, or whatever than the next person. So you may put on the same outfit and it look different. I say, here you go. Do your finger test. Put your arm down on your leg. Wherever that middle finger land, that's where your short skirt or whatever should be. You know, and some people have longer arms. Yeah. Some people have shorter arms. So you can look at one person and be like, well, her outfit is okay. And I say, look, have her do the arm test. Where does it land?
Akilah strong on the arm test.
She's within the limits for her body.
True.
I said my arms are longer, so my stuff is always going to be regulation.
Mine are always going to be down by my knee.
So, I mean, that's just what it is. But if we took the time to really have issues with every part, and I'm not even saying like, oh, I'm just so confident about every part. Like, no. But, you know, like, I would be crying in a corner if I was worried about every little thing that I didn't like, and then thinking like, oh, okay, this man ain't gonna want me because X, Y, and Z. I know what my issues are. You gotta love me for them.
Period. Make them beautiful.
Exactly.
Blossom them or something.
You know, so that I can walk in confidence.
Nurture them
with that. And oftentimes you will find that there are people out there who love the very thing about you that you hate.
That's so weird. Because people really be like, oh, why you like that? It's so cute. Ugh. Don't worry about it. What are we talking about next?
I thought somebody had something to say.
Oh, yeah. For those of you tuned in, give us any topic that you guys would like to hear us talk about, any opinions that you guys may have, so we can touch base on that. Because we want to be interactive with you guys, and we need you guys to be interactive with us. So if you guys have something you want to talk about regarding love, sex, or relationships, we're all ears, and we would like to know. So comment, call in, do what you got to do. And we're going to take it to a quick break while you guys think about that. I'll still be live if you guys want to give me your comments, and we'll bring it back in with that. So we're going to go ahead and take it to a quick break. So I'm going to kick it to the lovely Miss Poetess as she takes us to a beautiful break. She said Neosporin 2 fire.
Yeah, see?
Trying to burn my nose.
She's getting tips from Facebook. I don't know what
Facebook Live from my cousin Brian Harold. Gosh, he's an amazing chef. Check him out.
Trying to get tips on how to eliminate the ration, because you keep wiping your nose, and when somebody comes up with a great invention for that, I'm sure everybody is going to get it
for sure.
Right. So we've appreciated you all tuning in and joining us on this evening. We've kind of did like a free form, open forum type of thing,
open mic night.
Because, and I'm gonna tell you why, with a little transparency, right? So as you can see, it's just the two of us. So really shout out to those of you who tuned in and stayed with us the whole time, because of course, it wasn't necessarily as planned, but we got to engage a little bit with our guests and with our audience, and to me, ultimately, that's always what's most important anyway, to be able to have a good time. But we just want to thank you. It is October. We talked about Breast Cancer Awareness Month. We just want to make sure that if you are a woman and or a man, that you as women, make sure that you're testing yourself. You can test yourself. Usually they say like when you're getting out of the shower, after you showered, you do the arm test. You lift up your arm, make sure you, feel around your breast to make sure you don't feel any lumps and bumps, because it's really important. And then if you do, get it checked up. I remember one time, like I was like, oh no, this don't feel right. Something felt different. You know what I mean? Because you should just really just be in tune with your body. You know what I mean? And I'm also kind of like a hypochondriac. So anything that happens, I'm like, I pay health insurance for a reason. Let me go get this checked out. But I definitely went and got it checked out, and it wasn't anything. But the doctor basically said, like, that's good. And to continue to, be very aware of the things that are going on, because the majority of the time it's not that, people can't be cured of these different things. It's just the timing in which you find out, and finding out too late, and then not having done the different steps that needed to be done in order to prevent, or stop the cancer from spreading. So definitely test yourself at home, and you can go online and find those different ways of how you do it. I can just say that I don't think women are supposed to get like a mammogram until I think their 40s or maybe 50s. But because of that scare type thing, I had to do it, and it was just so weird and uncomfortable. But hey, like I said, I'd rather know than not know. So, just get tested, get tested and checked it.
I would say to bounce off of that, just take care of yourself. Put the right things in your body. You treat your body right, it'll treat you better. Honestly, that's just really how I feel. And make sure you guys tune back in every Monday night, 10 p.m. to midnight, because we will be here. Hopefully, the other two will join us. And make sure you guys follow me on Instagram, okay? And everything else at _Sugarfoot. Remember, that's with 2 R's, so Sugarr foot, okay? And
ladies, if you want to cut your hair off,
cut it off.
Do it. You ain't gotta ask.
Do what you want to do. Love yourself. You can't love nobody else till you love you. Okay? So this was a great Monday Night Love Sessions. I like the whole open mic night theme. Just kind of flowed. So we hope to see you guys again next Monday. Do you have anything else to add before
I was letting you do the close.
All right, guys. Well, we hope to see you guys next Monday. Tonight was a great show. I definitely enjoyed sitting here chatting it up with my sister girl head rap, Akilah Trinay, because that's what I'm going to keep calling her. Mm-hmm. So see you guys next Monday. It was great talking to you guys.